Just got Gold Rush back from the shop. It was in to get a lift and some new wheels.
Yeah, and typically we do all the work here, but this is a little bit of out of my wheelhouse, and he wouldn't trust me to touch his precious 392.
Yeah, we try to do everything ourselves, but that's something we just don't have the tools or the expertise for. So we took it into a great place nearby called Overbuilt Customs. Highly recommend. They did a fantastic job. We put a Metalcloak 3.5-inch game changer lift in there.
Yeah, and the Metalcloak comes in gold, so that works out real nice too.
Went with the black Rhino Armory wheels, 20-inch. Got them powder coated in gold to match the 392 trim, which I think looks great. And we put on Nitto Trail Grappler 38-inch tires. These are the ones with the -44 offset, 13.5 inches wide. Yeah, I know I'm going to get a lot of shit for this because no, they are not beadlock rims. Yes, they are very decorative and not very practical. But you know what? Zero ducks given. This is more of a daily driver than an off-road vehicle. We do take them off-road, but most of the time it's on the road.
We don't live near Moab. We're in Florida, so our off-road is a little bit different than some of you guys out there out west.
Yeah, I think this driveway is steeper than most of the hills around here.
So it'll do just fine.
In back, the stock tire carrier would never support these, so we put in the TerraFlex, which is a full hinge replacement. Yeah, so one thing that we haven't done yet is we're going to install a Tazer to modify the settings to adjust for the new 38-inch tires.
No, but looks good. That's got the beefy setup.
Yeah, we'll go inside, we'll put the Tazer in and go through some of the settings.
Do it.
There was no way to get a camera in there to show where these wires came from, but right behind this panel, there are two small plugs you have to pull out and plug into the Tazer Mini.
If you're having difficulty, you can try to unscrew and remove this part, but definitely want to pop that out. So I'll put up a picture of where these two plugs are, but Tazer's instructions also show it.
All right, so we have it installed. We're in here. The Jeep is set to run, but you don't want the ignition running, and we're going to access the menu. So you hold the left key and you hit the cancel on this side. And you're going to scroll through the menu doing that, and we're going to keep scrolling until we get to Mary. And then select. It's going to count down, and then it's going to marry the Tazer to the Jeep. Very long, 20 seconds. All right, it is married. So now the main menu that I want to find is the performance menu. We're going to go into that. And we're looking to set the tire size. So it was set to 35 and we want to get it up to 38. Just use the plus and minus arrows on the cruise control pad, and doesn't get it right to 38, but this one looks close enough. All right, it is set. They give me some warning lights, but I believe that you need to do a full reboot to save the... Oh, actually the lights went off. All right, so when you're done, you do this full reboot. It's going to count down quite a long distance. So once you do the full reboot, you then have to go through 2 sleep cycles. And what a sleep cycle is you turn the ignition off, open and close the driver's door, and wait 60 seconds. And you want to do that twice, according to the Tazer instructions. So we do a full reboot to save all of the settings that we just made. And then we go through 2 sleep cycles. All right, looks like we're rebooted. So we're going to turn it off, open, close. You want to wait for all the lights to turn off, and then wait 60 seconds. So we did the 2 sleep cycles. We're going to turn it back on now. We're just going to double check to make sure that the setting that we changed stuck. Yep, tire size is still set at 37.94. So we are good to go. So we took it out for a test drive to make sure that the speed is registering properly. Luckily, right by the house, the sheriff's office has been nice enough to put one of these speed check things. Take it to a nice steady 45 and see what it reads as we drive past. Looks like it might be registering a little bit low. So we were going a bit off. We oversized a little bit. That's because nominal size is 38, but realistically it's closer to like 37 and a half, 37.6, 37.7. So we're just gonna go back into the menu. To go to the audio menu, back into the performance. All right, let's go just a couple notches down. Let's go there. Then we're gonna go back to and do the full reboot. And we'll wait again. We'll be right back. All right, so we changed the setting. We decreased the tire size a little bit. And we're gonna run another test. A little bit of traffic right now, so I'm going to go at 40. And let's see what it reads at. That looks pretty perfect. So we got it dialed in, and we're good to go.
Alright, so as kind of part 2 to this video, I'm going to install my Tazer, which actually I already installed the module, but I'm going to run through some of the different settings and options that I want to enable to show you some of other capabilities that it has. So I've already plugged it in underneath the dash like we showed before. Now the Jeep is in run mode, and now so the first thing I have to do is I have to marry it. First we're going to go to the audio menu. We're going to hold left and hit cruise control cancel. So we want to marry. It's going to count down. Okay, so we are married. Those are all the different settings. Alright, so they have 3 categories of settings. They have vehicle settings, live settings, and non-menu settings. So first we're going to tackle the vehicle settings. That's when the engine is off, but the ignition is in run. So as you can see, you want the run lit up. First thing we're going to do, go do some tire settings. You saw Dimitri change the size of his tires. I'm not going to do that, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the PSI settings. The instructions say, I believe, that it's called tire, but it's actually called TPMS. Okay, so TPMS, yes, that's just the tire pressure monitoring system. We obviously want that. Here we go. We get to set the PSI levels. So I typically run my tires between 30 and 32. The minimum it'll allow you to go is 25. So we're going to, I think, set mine at 28. Let me make sure that it's saved. 28 for the front. Oh, that's not save. So I'm going to drop that to 28. Okay, so it looks like that has been saved. Let's confirm real quick. 28 for the front, 28 for the rear. Triggers have been set. It does recommend to go for a 20-minute drive after you're done, so I will do that when I'm fully done. The other setting that I want to go to is other. The thing that I'm looking for other is blind spot belt ding. So that basically just prevents the car from dinging when I'm not buckled in. I don't always buckle it in, it's just annoying. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. And I'm going to leave the rest on. There's a ton of settings here. Not just in this menu, but just the Tazer gives you so many options. Alright, so as far as vehicle settings, that's all I'm going to do. The only thing left right now is to do the reboot. So step 1 of doing the reboot is to go through the menu and just tell it to reboot. So the reboot is complete. As you can see, it's now actually warning me that the tire is too low and inflate to 28, where before it said factory 37. The instructions do say I have to go on a 20-minute drive to recalibrate all this, so I will do that later. But now we have to complete our full reboot, which now involves us doing 2 sleep cycles. So the sleep cycles are done by turning the ignition off, opening and closing the driver door. And now we wait until the screen goes completely dark, at which point we wait another 60 seconds. So once the 60 seconds is up, you want to turn on the ignition. Let's go back into run. Let that boot up. And then I'm going to repeat this step. We're going to turn it off, open and close the door, wait for the screen to go dark, and wait 60 seconds. And then turn it on. Be right back. So 60 seconds has passed. We started back up. And now we're going to go with the other type of settings called live settings. For that, we're going to need to turn the engine on. All right, once the engine is on, we're going to be able to set the live settings. So same concept. You push down and hold on the left arrow on the buttons on the left and the cruise control cancel to go into the menus. So we don't want live light show. Live settings is what we're looking for, but there are some other options in here that you can choose to do if you'd like. I just don't want any of those. So things that I'm looking for are in live settings. The first one is gonna be home link extension or extender. And I want to change that to ignition. Basically what that'll do is that'll allow my garage door opener to function for 30 seconds after I turn off ignition. Next, I want to go to kill 3 honk. That gets rid of that annoying honking it does when the Jeep is running and you get out with your keys. And the next thing I want to turn on, or I guess turn off, is auto park kill. That's when you are in drive and you open the driver door. It'll automatically throw the Jeep into park. I don't like that. I'm not an idiot. I don't need the Jeep to, nanny to tell me when and what to do. So there are circumstances where I would want to be in drive and have my door open because I'm looking down at something on the ground or whatever. So I'm turning that off. Auto park kill is on. Okay. So there is no reboot that's required after you do these settings because they only function when the Jeep is on. So once you set anything you want in this menu, you are done. There are also non-menu items, and the one that I would be using is auto start on and off kill. So basically what that does, when I turn on my auto start and stop off, it'll remember that when I shut the Jeep down and then start it back up, it'll automatically start in this mode, versus me having to push it every time. So that's some of the other settings. There are many, 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 many more. What you can do is you can go on their website and it'll give you the full list. I'm sure there are settings that you might be interested in that I'm not, and vice versa. But thanks for watching. Give us a like, subscribe, leave any comments you have, and I'll do my best answering them like I always do. Thanks.